What's going on? How's it going, Gilly? I'll try to be here, but my reception where I'm at right now is total crap. Fuck. No worries, Crystal. Good to have you here as always. I hope you're doing very well. Gonna keep a nice breezy one this Sunday. Um just have a little chat, little catch up, see how everyone's doing, and then hopefully we're gonna resume a good schedule this week. I hope everyone's well. I'm a little bit devoid of energy today. I think yesterday took it out of me. It was like a big adrenaline dump. Bit disappointing overall. Hope everyone's well though. Oh, did you live stream last night, Giuliano? I heard you picked Mario Bautista as well. I imagine you're buzzing about that. Sounds to me like you were the only one that did. Good fucking job, sir. How's it going, Ulysses? Frankie, are you a bit tired from last night or ready to go? I'm lacking a little bit of energy, but I got enough sleep throughout this Sunday, so I'm actually not too bad. How you doing, Antec? Antec, thank you very much for sticking around as long as you did yesterday. You fucking legend. It was great having you about. Good morning to you, sir, or good evening from here. I hope you're well. I've had a little bit of time to reflect on last night's card. To be perfectly honest, yeah, the card itself wasn't great, but I really enjoyed doing a watch along with the boys. I think it just made it a bigger event to me than it probably was. I haven't really been able to watch any of the fights lately, so you guys are about to give me all my news. I wish I had exciting news to deliver. It was a good there were some good performances. I think like the standout performance to me was probably not one I was expecting, but it was a really interesting. There were some there were some definite highlights throughout the card that are worth talking about. Apologize for being a bit far last night. Back to sobriety. No, mate, I didn't see anything out of pocket. You guys had a little bit of a chat. I didn't really see anything that was out of order, mate. And like I said, you're free to go back and forth as much as you want. What's good, my ninjas? How you doing, Ricky? Ricky, it was good to see you popping by as well. KO of the year, not even close. Yeah, the what do they call him again? It's not mini zombie, it's the I don't know. That was a really I mean, what's his name? Jakarigi's not very good, but to knock him out the way he did was very, very impressive. At least we've got somebody else to look for. Musical Raid. Oh shit. I didn't realize Musical was still on. I know he was on earlier. Fucking legend Musical. It was really nice getting Musical pop in last night when he did. I think most of his subscribers didn't realize he was over on my channel last night doing the watch along. He really injected some much needed energy into that because I think we were all lagging. How you doing, Justin? Hope you're well, bro. Joshua Van for me was hands down the performance of the night. During that watch along, I was literally splurting in my shorts, mate. He is so good to watch. Fucking love that guy. Hands down the best performance of the night for me, outside of the Korean guy whose name I can't remember as well. But that was just a brutal, fucking destructive knockout. The Van performance was like a clinic from beginning to end. Beautiful performance. Obviously, a lot of people are shitting on. Well, they're not really shitting on Marab, but there's disappointment. I loved every second of it. Like I didn't have any money on him because I'm not stupid. I think it was a sensational performance from Marab as well. Like improving every single time we see him out there. You didn't like the card? No, I mean the card did have a lot of enjoyable moments. It just it felt like there were a few deflating moments, especially on the main card. How you doing, Andy B? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, there were definitely some like deflating moments. I felt like the main card was a bit flat. Like, for example, with the Kayla Harrison and Juliana Pena thing, I basically watched that because I wanted to see Juliana Pena not just lose, but get fucking battered. I wanted like a Amanda Nunes 2 style ass whooping, and I didn't get that. So even though she's lost and she can fuck off forever because she's terrible, she didn't get the beating I was hoping for. I'd probably give it like a 7. It was a good card overall. Van should change his nickname to Get In the. That could work. Bit noncy, but it could work. But no, it was a very Joshua Van was sensational. He was the highlight of the card for me. If you're like an even if you're not like an MMA purist, watching the way this guy strikes is just beautiful to behold. I really enjoyed his performance. But it just felt flat in terms of storylines because with Marab winning, we're gonna get the Corey Sandhagen fight. That's great. I think Corey deserves it. Um, but can we all make a case that Corey can beat Marab? I don't think so. I was screaming for Van to not KO him until round 3 for my pick, and he finally got it in the third. I lost it. Justin, a lot of people did that. I think Bodak had a similar situation as well, where he had Van winning by decision. And I think he pissed a lot of people off with that. It was I felt I lost money again last night. I'm not even gonna stunt. I lost like $100, something like that, which isn't too bad. I mean, I've had quite a good few wins over the last few weeks, so wasn't like $100 isn't going to be devastating anyway. But I'm glad I didn't go all in on O'Malley because I was planning on like because of the odds that were on O'Malley, I kind of felt like it might be worth a punt. But I'm glad that I didn't go there because that would have pissed me off. Um, Patchy Mix was the most disappointing part of all of this because I've made videos on this guy in the past, hyping him up, saying how good he is. It's not the fact that he just looked flat and nervous in there, which is what I was expecting. I thought Patchy Mix would win a very close decision. A lot of people were saying he was going to finish him and destroy him. I didn't see it going that way, but fuck me, that was disappointing because I've been hyping this guy for years, and he completely shit the bed. Terrible performance. Somebody asked, "What do they do with him now?" I don't know. You put him in a fight with somebody ranked 10 to 15 and hope he can get his shit together. He's got the kind of nerves out of the way, which might help him. Hopefully, there'll be less pressure on him now because people won't be expecting much from him going forward. So maybe he can go in there and just show who he really is. Patchy Mix is not an awful fighter. He's really good, but as soon as we got to the end of the first round and he hadn't attempted a single takedown, I'm thinking, what are you doing? If you see this guy's record, he's a very, very good grappler and one of the best submission artists. He's got like 19 wins and 13 of them are by submission, and he chooses to fucking strike. I think he made the massive mistake of thinking of putting too much hype going into the fight, and he's thinking, I've got to go and knock him out. And I think that cost him. Shout out to the Cushman. How you doing, MMA holes? Good to see you, bro. Um, I didn't get a chance to jump in on your watch along last night. But to be fair, with how well you're doing these days, I don't think you would have noticed me up in there anyway. But shout out to you. There's a lot of people saying I don't like you. I fucking love your channel. I've had nothing but good things to say about you. So shout out to the MMA holes, one of the best in the game. Um, Mario did look good. He had a great game plan. I don't think he really needed a great game plan. Fucking Patchy Mix just got it all wrong. I think it was a mixture of like a bag of nerves, pre-hyping himself a little bit too much. I think the grandeur of the occasion. I think a lot of people underestimate that. I don't think UFC fighters are necessarily better than Bellator fighters in certainly in the bantamweight division. That division is stacked to hell, but it cannot be underestimated what all that media attention does, all the hype you get in subscribers, or sorry, not subscribers, but in social media activity and all the rest of it. It can get to your head. And he hasn't fought for over a year. And his last performance was pretty lackluster. A lot of people thought he lost to I think it's Maradov or whatever his name is. Not Maradov. Magomedov, I think his name is. A lot of people thought he lost that fight, so and he's an engaged man now. He's engaged to a man, and that can fuck your head up. So I don't know. Very disappointing. I do think we will see. I'm not completely written off on Patchy Mix. I'm not completely done with him. But hopefully now the pressure's off and he can get to it. No worries, Crystal. Thanks very much for if you're not subscribed to MMA Holes, I don't know what you're doing. Fucking awesome channel over there. Magomed. I think it's Magomedov. How you doing, your favorite Fed? Good to see you. Waddler Raid. Are we calling Musical Waddler? I've got to give a shout out to MMA Musical again. Him turning up in the main card was just, we were all like, fucking hell. Like we'd been on for like 5 hours at that point. We were all lagging. And then Musical comes flying in and I'm just like, wow. Bronte Raid. Is Bronte Musical or am I missing something here? I'm expecting we might get one or two people in later on. Magomed. Whatever, man. What the fuck ever. If you are Waddler MMA, you're yanking my chain right now. The like button is talking crap about all your mums. Go hit it in the face and teach it a lesson. Very good advice. I appreciate that. And if you're new here, do subscribe. Like I said, we are I'm somebody who is obviously very much linked to people like Musical MMA, Bodak, Giuliano. He's a bit of a mixed bag for everyone. Bodak, obviously, brutally honest. We've been doing a lot of streams together lately, and if you want to kind of catch them on different platforms, it's kind of worth hanging out here sometimes. But nice to see you, Justin Kennedy. I think we've mentioned in the first fight as well, but Marab is too strong for O'Malley. It was like man strength versus boy strength. And people are saying that O'Malley should go up to featherweight. It's like it's like people just want to see Sean O'Malley get killed at this point, which I'm all for. Bronte is someone who Musical plays fucking music with, innit? Is that right? Damn. I did not know that. But as I said, it's good to have everyone here. Shout out to Bronte. Hope everyone's well. Yeah, like I said, a little bit deflated after the card. I felt like it was a good one, but you know, I feel like a lot of storylines have been ruined. When the main storyline coming out of a card is that Amanda Nunes is coming back, it kind of leaves things a little bit flat, you know. It leaves a sour taste in the mouth. At least we got Dana White finally addressing the John Jones bullshit, which if any of you haven't seen that, was I guess kind of telling. It kind of shows me that they just assumed that John Jones was going to fight and that they haven't really had any discussions. So all this talk about we're definitely getting the fight, blah blah blah, was bad. The Sunday after a pay-per-view is always going to be low energy. The thing is, yeah, I found, yeah, that as an MMA fan, the feeling after a card is not just the quality of the fights, but we're fickle fans. Like, we want who we want to win. I think a lot of us had stock in Patchy Mix, and I think some people wanted to see maybe not Sean O'Malley win, but we wanted to see a great fight, and we didn't get either of those things. The Kayla Harrison fight fucking sucked as well. So those of us who were jonesing to see Juliana Pena get fucking smashed were disappointed as well. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Raf? How you doing, bro? O'Malley does half rep push-ups. Never trust someone that does half reps. For real. Full extension or just get out of the game. Patchy trash talk, do nothing mix. I think he backed himself into a corner. This is what I'm saying. I think he talked too much. Honestly, I think he put too much pressure on himself. I get why people do that. And with his record, he's got a right to talk a little bit of shit. But he came in there with way too much pressure on himself. And he shit the bed, ultimately. The Bellator guys are like an era behind. I don't think it's necessarily true. I think it's the spotlight, though. I think it's the attention. When they come into a Bellator, because Bellator does no promotion really whatsoever. And then when they're thrust into a press conference and they're doing all these interviews and they got all these attention on them, it gets to your head. How you doing, Paradox? It was an absolute pleasure to have you there last night as well, bro. You fucking legend. Drunk Paradox is a sight to behold. Patchy Mix's debut was really soft, no energy. He needs to step up the game. Part of what worried me about that, yeah, that I'm looking through him thing definitely aged horrible. The problem with that performance was like not only was it lackluster and he looked nervous in there, the game plan was outright dog shit. If you told me Patchy Mix was going to go in there and strike with him the entire time, I would have predicted a loss. But I didn't think he was going to do that. Opahegi quit gooning and smoking weed and somehow looked worse. Oh, I assume you mean O'Malley. Maybe gooning and smoking weed is the way to he kind of implied that he stopped fucking bitches on the side as well. So this is a lesson for all up and coming MMA fighters. Fuck bitches, smoke weed, party, have a good time, and get on social media as much as possible. How you doing, Lane? What's good? B7 up in the building as well. How you doing, bro? Yeah, it was a horrendous game plan. And the thing is, he was being told in his corner, get him up against the cage, grapple him, and look for if you see 90% of Patchy Mix's wins are him finding the back and choking the fuck out of people. And he didn't even make an attempt. I think he went for one takedown, got shucked off, and just went, all right, let's go back to missing. He looked like a full second behind. It was a disgraceful performance. Fucking embarrassing. But I'm not done on Patchy Mix yet. Like I said, the pressure's going to be off him now. He's going to go into whoever he fights next. Nobody's going to have any expectations. I think he reflects on that fight and realizes he's got to go back to his bread and butter. You are not a striker, sir. That's how dedicated I am to MMA. I didn't even know Patchy Mix was a guy until yesterday. I thought it was some random Thai chick or whatever. Stamp Fair. Let's not talk shit on Stamp Fairtex, sir. Stamp Fairtex is an absolute treasure. That's breeding material right there, sir. There you go. I've said it. Maybe Marab is just better than him. Marab is better than him. That became unequivocal last night. Marab is hands down the better fighter. I think people are coming to terms with the fact that he is. I said Marab was the best fighter, was the best bantamweight fighter of all time after the Umar fight. I felt like that was his best performance because Umar Nurmagomedov is going to go on and get some great wins. What bothered me about what Dana said after the fight though was he mentioned Umar's name again. She's like, nah, I want to see Corey, then I want to see Marab possibly leave the division. Is Stamp Thai? She is Thai. I actually went to a one event in Thailand or attempted to that she was on, and I fucking missed it. It was on at 7 o'clock in the morning. I thought it was on at 7 o'clock in the night. Turned up in the evening, and everyone had gone home. One of the most embarrassing things. I was planning on doing like a live stream and all kinds of shit. Completely fucked it up. Went all the way out there and totally dropped the bag. If he wasn't the best before, he definitely is now. The problem with the O'Malley thing is O'Malley hasn't really got the legacy. I mean, I know having 2 wins against O'Malley looks really good and finishing him looks good, but his legacy ain't there. He's got a controversial win against Piotr Yan. He obviously knocked out Aljo, who was coming in with an injury and was forced to fast track a fight camp. What's he got really? He's got wins over Journeyman and outdated. Is she dating Rodtang or something? I'm not sure. She's probably been dicked down by a few of those dudes. But who am I to judge? Marab is underrated. Everyone trashed him for being boring, but you better appreciate him while he's here. I think he has had boring fights, but his last 3 or 4 fights have been sensational. Every performance he's had after the Aldo fight has been tremendous. And people can bitch and complain about him all he wants, but he's elite. We had a lot of people talking about, oh, he's done EPO, oh, he's like, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. I think he's an incredibly hard worker. Could he be taking EPO? Possibly. But until that's proven, I'm not gonna go, oh yeah, he's probably on it. Like, I don't think he is. Until they come out and say he's been caught doing this and that, I'm out of it. I'm just assuming he's a clean fighter and that he's great. I'm the same age and size as O'Malley, but way physically stronger. I feel like I'd take him down and elbow his face in, but maybe I'm delusional. Yeah, Ricky. I mean, I don't know what you're working with over there, but if you're the same age and same size as O'Malley, he would fuck you up. It's like professional footballers, yeah, professional soccer players. Harry Maguire, for example, looks like a lump of wood, but he would skill on it. He would skill on a regular guy in the street. These guys are training every day. Like O'Malley would choke people out on the street, but obviously when you get to elite competition, it's different levels. What did you think of the Spivak Costa decision? Was it the right call? I think that fight could have gone either way. When we were watching it live, I called it for Cortez Acosta because I just felt like he was more active. Like I felt like Spivak was spending the majority of the fight like that. He was defending a lot of his he was just spent most of the time defending. And even though he landed a little bit cleaner on Waldo when he did strike and got a couple of takedowns, he was too inactive for me. If either man had got their hand raised, I would have gone, "Yeah, all right." It was one of those ones that was very difficult to call. And I picked Spivak and had him in a parlay that would have won me a couple $100. And when it got to the end of the fight, I was like, nah, I think Costa might have won that. Or Waldo Costa, or whatever the fuck his fat name is. Fat cunt. Sorry. Spivak didn't want it enough. I mean, he's just a fat mess as well. Spivak is a bit more interesting to me because obviously heavyweight is an embarrassment of a division, but Spivak has some skill. Like he's a decent striker. He's got decent takedown and he's got something to him. You can see why he's successful. Whereas if some of these other fat cunts, there's just yeah. I don't know why that guy getting KO'd. Yeah, Jekarigi Singh. I'm not gonna lie here. I thought it was. I said this. It occurred to me in the live stream what a racist cunt I am. I thought that he was Ansar Jubilee. I thought he was an Indian fighter, not an Indonesian fighter. So, deeply racist from me. As soon as I saw that guy walking down, I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" I thought it was that skinny, ugly Indian fucker who's also shit. If I'd known it was that Indonesian guy, I might have been a bit different with how I'd laid my because I fucked up a parlay on that one as well. Yeah. I'm in decent shape and can hold my own on two wheels. However, when I show up, I'm only fast in my mind. 100%. By the way, shout out to Rob's neighbor Kerry's channel. Give the guy a sub. Motorcycle and general automobile enthusiast. One of the reasons I hate doing much tape study is because guys like Patchy. That's the problem with tape study. You tend to overthink things. MMA isn't like that. I think we've come to learn, yeah, that MMA is kind of like it's an instinctual game. It just is. It's instinct. You round one KO was free money. In hindsight, it really looks that way. But the only reason why I wasn't willing to put money on that is because the guy does have an incredibly padded record. The guys he's fought are absolute shit. But the thing is, you can only fight who you've got in front of you, and some people rise to the big lights, like this you cunt, and some people wilt like little pussies, like Patchy Mix. Are Indonesians the Asians that look like Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy? Let's do a live, honest reaction to that. Mantis, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, yes, they are. Big eyes, slightly darker skinned complexion. Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy, indeed. It's a very good, if slightly fucked up comparison there, sir. By the way, if you guys are in here and you're not subscribed, do subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. And like the stream. We've got 30 something cunts in here. I don't know how many likes we've got. I haven't checked. Let's have a gander. 17. I think we can do better than that. I agree. The guy he KO'd lost to Jubilee. Imagine. And Jubilee's terrible as well. Yeah, thank you for linking Kerry's channel. I appreciate it. Isn't Mantis a hold rich Asian? I'm just getting confused now. And that's the alien looking fucker from Guardians of the Galaxy. And yes, Indonesians do look like that. I'm sorry to say, but it is just as soon as I saw it, I was like, yep. Yep, that's deeply fucked up, but correct. 100%. It is what it is. But yeah, overall, I'm just a little bit. And then what do we have to look forward to? I mean, next week's Atlanta card is all right. I'm going to go into that a little bit tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a live stream with some of the American boys. I'm going to be doing one with Giuliano, Orange Cat, some of the boys over there. Good Noodle's going to jump back on as well. He's always entertaining. What do you think of Joshua Van not getting a performance bonus? Absolutely disgraceful. Joshua Van, hands down, was the best performance of the night. I was literally gooning as it was happening. Absolutely sensational performance. I love Joshua Van. I feel like that's where the adrenaline dump was though, because after watching that, I was literally just like high as fuck. I couldn't believe how good it was. And then the main card looked a bit shit. The Atlanta card does look like, I mean, it's not very name heavy, but it looks like there's gonna be some nice scraps on there. And at least it's not in the Apex. So I wouldn't go as far to say as I'm looking forward to it, but yeah. There's some mid PFL card on Thursday, I think. They can't even get the day of the week right. I hope that organization ends up in the ground as soon as possible. And the fact that Francis Ngannou is alluding to potentially coming back says it all. Why do Koreans have such square heads? The men do. What I do appreciate about Korea in general as a country is all their women are slim as fuck and they look well, but they also look like they've all had surgery, so that's an issue as well. But they're all slim and they've got back. So shout out to Korean bitches. Shout out. Yeah, Korean women are pretty good. The thing is, there are women there who are a little bit plump, like that would still be considered slim and hot in America and England, and they get fat shamed. Koreans do not abide by fat bitches. You get literally shunned from society. So shout out to those cunts. Van set the record for the most knockdowns in a fight for flyweight with 4 knockdowns, beating the previous record by 2. That goes to show you what the weird thing about flyweight is they're very, very skilled, but the power just isn't there. But again, Joshua Van was fucking amazing. I love that kid. And he's 23. He's fighting 4 times a year. I hope he goes on to do very, very well. Got decent takedown defense. Some of the stuff he did in that fight was so technically beautiful. The fact that he didn't get a fight night bonus shows me that the UFC brass are not watching. It's a disgrace. Gladiator 31 had the best ring card girls of the weekend. If you know, you know. I'll have to check that out. I do love myself an attractive female, despite all the rumors. Most Koreans have had work done on them, 100%. There's like, from what I know about Korea, there's like 4 major plastic surgery outlets there, and all Korean women go to one of the 4. So you basically get 4 types of Korean women. They're all bang on the surgery. Bang on it. It's all like the weird thing is it's all facial surgery. So if you knock up a Korean lady and the baby comes out looking like an onion, you've been warned. Because naturally some of them are butt ugly. And obviously surgery does not change genetics. So the baby comes out looking like a squashed onion, and you're like, why is this kid so ugly? It's like when you go out with a woman who's got heavy makeup on, and you're like, damn, this bitch is fire. And then you wake up in the morning and you feel like she's left and been replaced by some munted dog creature. And then you awkwardly kick that bitch out before breakfast. I'm sounding a little bit too personal here, but you know what I'm saying. Again, if you know, you know. Never fuck with a woman with makeup. Frankie, why are Asian countries so anti-weed? You did mention that. Actually, they're not anti-weed anymore. If you go to Thailand now, weed is essentially legalized there. And it's fucking amazing weed as well. So if you're somebody who can't get off I mean, I would suggest that if you're somebody who travels, I've said this multiple times in here. Sorry, that's my alarm. Don't know why I have an alarm on at 9:30 at night. Anyway, if you if you're somebody who can't give up smoking weed and you're gonna go to an Asian country, go to Thailand. Go to Thailand anyway. Place is goated. I'd have Bangkok and Manila in my top 2 places to visit. I'm not even attempting to be racist this time. They genuinely look all the same. They do. It's not a racist thing. It's kind of known. Nah, China, nothing's legal in China, mate. I mean, you can get your drink on, and there are a surprising amount of like hallucinogenics and shit in China. You can get your hands on things like opium and shit like that. Because there was a dude I used to work with who used to be high off his nut on a regular basis. You can't. It's kind of hard to get weed there, and if you get caught, you're fucked. In China, there's not no due process. If you get caught with weed, you'll go into jail and you're being sentenced within like 24 hours. They don't fuck about. And you don't have no TV in your room, you know, like they do in English jails, where you get 3 nice square meals a day, a nice bed, no getting fucked in the ass. Have you been to Chiang Mai, Frankie? I have. It's lovely as well. Chiang Mai, I would recommend if you guys are going to go to Thailand, go to somewhere like Chiang Mai or go to Phuket first. Because if you go to Bangkok, you're going to get overwhelmed. There's videos on the internet all about it. You'll be walking down the street and women will just be walking up to you and grabbing you by the cock. And that sounds amazing. It's not. I thought it sounded amazing in my head. And then I went over there and I'm like, God damn, these women are aggressive. And I was scared. I had to build the pimp game up before I was ready for that. I want poppy seeds, the kind that you can make opium out of. Stuff like that is very you can get it in China, but again, you don't want to get caught. That's all I'm saying. Those people don't fuck around. In Thailand, a lot of things are illegal. Like prostitution is illegal, some drugs are illegal, but they're just out in the open. It's a very interesting way of doing things. It's like officially you can't do everything, but unofficially you can do everything and it's right in your face. It's fucking beautiful. I haven't I mean the Philippines and Thailand, it's not as cheap as it used to be 15 years ago, but you still get value, you know. I've never been to Indonesia, so I can't um comment on that place, but Vietnam's amazing as well. Um where else is good? Sri Lanka's apparently dope as fuck as well. So if you've got like if any of you have got like future plans to travel, we got into this a little bit with No Chill yesterday. If you're an American in here and you think America's all there is, expand your horizons. Get yourself over to Asia and cut loose a little bit. You won't regret it. Japan was amazing as well. I've been there twice. Beautiful country, very clean. Japanese people are weird though. If you think Americans get kinky with it, yeah, you have not. Japanese people are very, very strange. There's a very weird conflation there in Japan between sex and violence that is quite disturbing. I'm currently learning Japanese harder than I thought. Yeah, Japan. The thing is with Japanese and Chinese is if English is your core base, which it is for a lot of us, it's like learning a completely different alien language. It's very, very different. It just is. Because the way that their whole language structure is, it's not like you can directly translate one thing to another. Whereas with languages like Portuguese, English, French, Spanish, etc., they're all derived from Latin. So they've all got a kind of a commonality base where sounds are kind of similar and you can make direct translations. In Chinese, it doesn't work like that. And same with Japanese. Did you like Lane's short that she deleted? I don't think Lane made a short, Andy B. And no, I haven't seen it. I have no idea what you're referring to. I have no desire to travel to India, Pakistan, or any other country similar. I've got to be honest, mate. Neither do I. I don't want to go to a poor, dirty country that's overpopulated and smelly. I said it. Fuck it. India is very low on the list for me. And the thing is, I've got a lot of Indian friends. Indian people are great, but it's just too overpopulated. Smelly was out of pocket, but very, very overcrowded and just a bit too full on for me. But I have friends who have been to India that have said it's been amazing. I've got one friend over there at the moment who's been there for 6 months and he's refusing to leave. He's just hanging out there. It's because they're on an island. Their culture is very different. Island places are amazing. Like I said, one of my favorite places was I know it's not India specifically, but the Maldives is fucking unbelievable. If you want like a holiday island getaway, go to the Maldives. Beautiful. British Indians don't even like India. Indians are the most pompous cunts on the planet. As soon as you give an Indian a passport, they start thinking they're fucking gods amongst men. I don't like Indian men. I don't like like regional Indian men. If you're Indian, I apologize for the insult. Kind of. How you doing, Steve Spiros? What's good, man? Shout out to you, sir. I'd rather go to jail. I imagine it would be very similar. It would be very similar to imagine going to jail in India. Good grief. But again, I've probably got preconceived ideas about India that aren't true because I used to think things about China. I used to think things about Thailand. And then I went to these places and I was like, fucking hell. And that's again, we kind of got into it with No Show a little bit last night. It was a very interesting discussion. We kind of got into like the merits and, different countries and stuff like that. And I'm kind of being very ignorant because I said to him, like, yeah, like Qatar was an amazing experience for me. Um, all the Arab countries I've been to pretty much all of them. Have all been good experiences for me. Dubai was nice, UAE was nice. Bahrain, beautiful place. A lot more free there than most of the others. But I've said like I had preconceived ideas about what these places were like, and when I actually went there, I'm like, oh my god, it's paradise out here. So maybe I'm wrong about India. Maybe I should, but it's just not high on my list. I've got like, I still haven't been to Mexico. I still haven't been to South America. South America is the only continent that I haven't been to. So that's way higher on the list for me for somewhere like India, which is not likely to be my jam. I'll put it that way. I haven't traveled. Much enjoy the stories about your travels. I also love the idea of Thai Asian women. You haven't experienced anything like it, mate. I've got to give shout out to the Philippines as well. The Philippines is a nice place to visit. As long as you don't go out there and get absolutely shit faced because you will get taken advantage of. They can smell a drunken foreign moron from a mile off, and you'll get home and you'll be like, "Where's my money? Where's my wallet?" It's that kind of place. Thailand's kind of similar like that as well. As long as you don't get caught slipping out there, you'll be fine. Chicago is safer than London. Yes, London is completely fucked right now. I used to live there and moved away. I live in the country. Well, not in the country, but I live in a small village. Not really a village. It's like a small town, and I live in front of a nice, massive lake. The hottest Pakistani girl is 4 out of 10. No, Pakistan's apparently really nice. Pakistan is very different from India. I used to have a coworker that said he went to rural China and he was at a restaurant and went to the bathroom and the toilet was just a hole that you can squat over and pigs are under to eat your poo. I mean, China is so I was talking about this a little bit yesterday. China is so vastly different. China is very technologically advanced and it's got cities that are massive compared to they've got probably 15 cities that are, you know, bigger and better than London and New York and more impressive. But there are a lot of like rural places as well that I didn't really get the chance to visit as much. It's like, you know how people talk about how America is very diverse geographically. It's got mountain regions and desert regions and snow regions, and China's very, very much the same. It's basically got a very similar landscape to America in terms of how diverse it is, but it's just on the other side of the planet. It's in the same part of the northern hemisphere, just on the other side. So you get kind of very similar diversity there, and the people are just as diverse as well. It's like People that live and work in Shanghai are very different from people in Beijing, and very different from people in Shenzhen and Chongqing, and just a you'll have a different experience depending on where you go in China, is what I'm saying. Musicals gig is in London. I've got that on my list this year in terms of YouTube experiences. I want to go and see a live like musical gig at some point this summer. I'm just gonna hop on one time and just go and check it out because he's a good lad. Chicago is way worse than London. They got switches and London has knives. Yeah, I've heard Chicago's a little bit. I've never been to Chicago. I've been to like quite a few American cities, but most of it is like, so I've been to Las Vegas, I've been to California, I've been to Washington, I've been to Boston, I've been to New York, and I've been to Las Vegas. So I think those are the six that I've been to as far as I can recall. So I've got no knowledge of what Chicago's like, but I've heard America's very different as well all over. I remember meeting a Jeet lady with the most feminine features ever. She was half Romanian or something European. I mean, Indian women can be very attractive. Like, you get beautiful women everywhere. And like I said, you're never gonna really know what it's like until you get out there. I think the issue that I have with a lot of Americans, and the impression that I get from them, is that they seem to be very, very kind of like, I get being patriotic, being an American, because America is amazing, but they feel like they've got everything they need there and they don't need to experience everything else. And that's a mistake because there's just a wealth of opportunity out there and a wealth of different things to experience. And if you don't get out there and do that, you're going to miss out on so much in life. And it's a shame. You should absolutely experience life. Like, get a passport. You know, a big percentage of Americans don't. Take yourself off to somewhere in Asia. If you don't experience, I know I go on about Thailand all the time. If you get one chance to go anywhere, my number one pick would be Thailand. If you don't get to experience that in your life, you're missing out. It's a next level. I'll jump on in 10 minutes, Frankula. Anytime you wish, sir. We're gonna hang out here until about, I'm probably gonna go for about another 45 minutes while we wait for, or whenever Bodak goes on. This is basically the pre-Bodak stream. And thanks very much for the raid musical and for coming on last night, you beautiful cunt. Because honestly, we were all lagging last night. And when we saw your happy face turn up, it gave us all energy. So shout out to you. That's why I love it where I'm at. We have next to no murder rate, but then again, my husband keeps the guns in the safe and I don't know the combination. This is the thing about over generalizations about America. And we got into this a little bit yesterday. It's very, very hard to overgeneralize about a country as big as yours is. It is so, like, the murder rate in New York, for example, is going to be completely different from the murder rate in Ohio, and the experiences are going to be different too. The diversity is going to be different. The crime rate is going to be different. Speaking of America as a whole, based on, we have freedoms, and it's all relative, in my opinion. But it got into a very interesting debate about it yesterday. If you guys missed that, it got very spicy and interesting. And I appreciate No Chill for bringing it up because it was worth debating, I think. Yeah, Vegas was a little bit see, I went there with somebody, and I didn't get to have the experience that I was kind of expecting. It's a kind of a, it's a fun environment to be in, but I didn't experience it properly. Like, I didn't go with like the boys. I think if you're going to somewhere like Vegas, you've got to get some lads together and do it properly. Going there with a female was a stupid idea. I don't know what I was thinking. I looked it up. It's just under 20 times higher murder rate. Chicago is 20.7 per 100,000. London is 1.27 per 100,000. I mean, London is, I guess I don't think the gun crime kind of takes, it might have a lot to do with it. But I think when you've got a lot of retarded people with mental health issues that can walk into a shop and buy a gun, or let's just say unknown mental health issues, because it's all well and good saying, yeah, we do a background check. Anybody can go nuts at any time. Like, you can have a mental breakdown at any moment and just decide to go into a store, do a background check. Oh, yeah, you're perfectly fine. Buy a gun, and then you're loose out on the streets being able to do whatever you want. But I guess it's the price you pay for having, like, you know, full freedom. Personally, I hope we never get that in the UK, but I don't know what it would be like. And guns are pretty awesome. Gary, Indiana is safer than Tijuana. Tijuana, I've heard, is very again, I've got a friend who's got an apartment out there, and he will tell you stories where you're like, "Holy shit, this sounds amazing. It's like a drug-fueled paradise." And then he's like, "Yeah, these guys tried to kidnap me and rob me." And I'm like, "I don't think I'm willing to sacrifice one for the other." Or maybe it wasn't Tijuana he was talking about. What's that other Mexican place that a lot of foreigners go to? It might not be Tijuana, it might be someone else. We need guns here. Do you reckon? I don't think it would go down very well. I don't know. I think the fact that we've never introduced them is probably best for us. I think introducing them would cause a whole heap of issues. No, there's no blacks in Tijuana whoa, Black Betty, it's so safe. I don't know why I'm laughing about that, you fucking little bigoted cunt, you. Black people aren't the only people who are fucked up, all right? It could be Guadalajara, but I've heard Peru is fucking amazing as well. We've got a couple of subscribers in here who are Peruvian and but Birmingham's not. Do you mean Birmingham in England? Yeah, Birmingham's not insanely dangerous. It's just a complete shithole. They don't even get their bins collected. It's an absolute dump site. And funnily enough, Birmingham is where Brutally and the guy who runs Silk Pajamas, and we've got another guy coming along as well. We're all meeting in Birmingham to watch BKFC at the end of the month. We may not come back alive, but Steve Spiros has got me kind of nervous here. Birmingham is just an utter shithole. I thought black Carter gangs run Mexico. I have heard that with Mexico, the way to go, yeah, is um you need to know somebody there who knows what the lay of the land is, because you can get yourself in trouble very, very easily. It's like in South Africa. Do not go to South Africa unless you know somebody who knows where to go, because like the poor areas and the good areas they're kind of intertwined. So if you step down the wrong street, you can be in a perfectly nice place 1 minute, and then you take one wrong turn and you're getting raped. More likely to catch the Black Plague in Birmingham than the bullets. No, Birmingham is very Asian centric. There's a lot of British Indians living in Birmingham. Birmingham and Bradford is kind of known for being British Indian. Go to Brazil with Lane. She's Brazilian. Brazil's high on the list for me as well. I think if I was going to go to South America tomorrow, I'd probably go to Argentina first. Argentina would probably be my first choice, or Peru. How's it going, Neanderthal? The UK is definitely high in stabbings, possibly the highest in the world, but I could be wrong. London definitely is. London, despicable London youths do love a good shankathon. A lot of people carry knives around here. Take it easy, Andy B. Shout out to your channel. Hope you're up. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by as always, you beautiful bastard. Um, yeah, I would say the rate of stabbings in London is bad. And the problem with the stabbings rate in London is it seems to be young people that are doing it. Not a day goes by where you hear about some 15, 16-year-old getting stabbed outside of a school or whatever. No, go to Belize. What's happening in Belize? That's high on the list as well. I figure when I go to South America, I want to do like because unfortunately I'm back working now. I used to just be able to freely do whatever I wanted. But my plan is like, if I go to South America, I want to do a fucking 3 months there or something and just hop between countries. America has way more stabbings per capita. I mean, just yeah. I was about to say something stupid and say it's a population thing there, but I don't know. It's just there's a lot more going on in America. There's I don't, it's just too big. The bigger a place is, the more like out of pocket things are likely to get. It's kind of scary when stabby is an emotion. It is. It's a very popular verb here. Stabby stabby. Probably per capita, London might not be. So he was in charge of Cuba. Castro's definitely got about 900 clones. I've heard Cuba is about as like outrageously it's about as outrageously different as you can get. I've heard you can't go there and just like spend money in a conventional way. You've got to kind of trade a little bit. Think of all the third world countries above London. I mean, now we're getting really technical. It's what we were talking about yesterday. It's like, what do you value? Do you value freedom or do you value living in a place where crime is less prevalent? What are you willing to sacrifice for safety? And it kind of depends who you are because I totally understood No Chill's perspective yesterday because he's a very young man and he's probably down for the action. He'd probably rather live in an environment that's more risky than, you know, safe necessarily and where he can pretty much say what he wants. Personally, as an old man who's got kids, I'd rather be able to go out at night and know that if I leave my wallet lying around, no one's going to steal it. Or if I walk down a street at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not going to end up with my favorite virginity taken. Do you know what I'm saying? Or to get robbed or stabbed or whatever. I'm not willing to really take that risk. I'm a door knock away from death, and I'm not rushing to the target. We should all take a field trip to India. That sounds like a nightmare. Cuba tourism is down. Like, yeah, I mean, that's another place that I have to visit at some point. It's quite high on the list for me. But I figure I can do all of those. The problem with visiting Cuba is I've heard that going in and out of there can affect your ability to leave and enter other countries because it's on one of those weird shit lists where it kind of looks like a very weird stain on your passport to have Cuba stamped on there, you know? I'm willing to sacrifice millions of migrants for safety. I mean, like I said, I'm of the view that if you're bringing over skilled workers that can add to the country, I'm all for that because you learn from each other. But if we're allowing criminals and shit into the country, that's a different view. That's a different thing. I don't want the dregs of your society. You can keep them for yourself, mate. I mean, we made that mistake several hundred years ago when we shipped off all our criminals to Australia. Now look what we've started. I don't even really mean half this shit. I don't really give a shit about anything. Isn't Eastern Europe your guys' Mexico? Just go there for the same. They'll rob you too, but in BMWs instead of F-150s. Again, it depends where you go. A lot of places get a bad rep. I've heard this about Mexico a lot, but then people that have actually gone there have been like, nah, man, everyone's chill. And as long as you're not looking for trouble, you'll be all right. We aren't learning anything from Pakistanis, mate. Jesus. I mean, again, I'm I, I find that I'm not very deep when it comes to issues of immigration because I'm a very selfish person in terms of like I keep myself very isolated and I just stay away from all of it. So unless I've had like firsthand experience of it, I tend to keep my opinions to myself. But I'm assuming you must have if you've got quite a strong view on it. If you have a Cuban stamp, it could affect your travel to the US exactly. And Cuba would very much be like a one off. I do have an Irish passport though, which is like one of the most goated passports to have in case you guys don't know. If you're packing an Irish passport, you can pretty much go anywhere. An Irish passport is better than a British passport now. It's insane. Everyone loves the Irish. And they're like, come on in. Of a bunch of Khabibs stealing your wallet in stolen BMWs, blaring their retard music. Well, your favorite Fed has some very strong views. Mexico is generally fine as long as you aren't stupid and flashy. The cartel owns a lot of the stores, so they don't want tourists getting robbed. That's exactly what I've heard as well. As long as you're not going out there acting like a cunt, you should be fine. Isolated, you fly around the world to bang Asian cooch. This is a very unfortunate rumor that that I may have started, to be fair. But no, I mean in terms of where I live, I tend to like bed down in very safe environments. I travel a lot because I want to experience things. But I've been to Manila probably 50 times. I've been to Bangkok probably 50 times. So I know kind of where to go and where not to go. But you have to learn the hard way. Have you been to the Czech Republic? I haven't, but again, it's another one that's up there. I've heard the Czech Republic is sensational. Like those Eastern European countries, like Czech Republic, Poland, Romania, they've all got something to offer. Really, I've spent most of my time. I tend to do long distance traveling more than within Europe. So Spain is one of my favorite countries. I'm less hyped about Italy. I didn't really enjoy it as much. I thought the food was a little bit overhyped. But I like Italy. I like Greece was beautiful as well. Love Greece. That's somewhere where I definitely chill. Um but no, it's like Europe to me is kind of, I don't know. Prague I've heard is sensational. Yeah, I would love to go to the Czech Republic. Been to Switzerland, very clean as well. Germany's very clean. I'm not wrong before. All the blacks and Indians who was doing all the crime, those Khabib looking motherfuckers. I think you've mixed up your races there, sir. Why can't they all be shit? Don't you get flagged if you go to Thailand too many times as a man going by yourself? Well, it hasn't happened to me so far. I haven't managed to get myself on any list yet, which is very. But mind you, yeah, I'm not one of those foreigners who go to places and act like a cunt. Like, I don't get drunk and start, like, acting the big man. I'll get a little bit tipsy. I'm generally friendly to everyone, and I'm chill. I don't go there and act like a prick. I don't get into fights and start, like, it's just not my vibe. I think the thing is, when you go to countries like that, what they want you to be is just generally respectful. If you go there and you're friendly and you're nice to people, you'll get treated in that kind. If you go there and start acting the big man and start, like, slapping their women on the asses, which some of them would probably enjoy, but the men will take exception to that. If you come there and you're a good person, you're a good lad, you'll have a great time. And I think it's the same with most places. If you go around in the world acting like some flashy cunt who's better than anyone, you'll get what you deserve. I haven't been to Austria either. Austria's up there though. Holland's really nice as well. Does anyone give you side eyes or glares when you say you go to Thailand a lot? The funny thing is, yeah, I'm fed. I'll give you an example of this. Yeah, my friends here used to take the piss out of me all the time for going to Thailand. They would be like, "Oh, it'd be like Frankie gets fucked by lady boys, all this kind of stuff." I was dealing with it for years, yeah. And then recently we had our 40th birthday. Like all of us turned 40 in the same year because we all went to the same school. And I convinced them to go to Thailand, and they all agreed to go there, and they've been yapping on about it ever since. Some of them are talking about moving there, and all of the lady boy getting fucked in the ass stuff has stopped. So yeah, I did get the piss taken out of me for about 15 years. But thing is, yeah, I'm not thin skinned. I don't give a. I lean into it. I do the same thing on here. I don't give a fuck. If you think I'm a faggot, fine. I'm very comfortable in my own skin. I don't give a shit. How you doing, Colin Robinson? How you doing, sir? Another musical MMA raid. Man, the receipts are adding up. I need to get in contact with him and work out a time when I can go on before him, so I can send people his way. Good to see you here, Colin. Shout out to you. I'm pretty sure before I've seen you before in musical streams. When I was in Thailand, I saw this giant bodybuilder guy holding hands with a smaller bodybuilder guy with women's hair and a dress. I mean, each to their own. You see, there's this misconception about Thailand, and this is the problem that some of my friends had in this country. We got into a massive argument about this a couple of months ago, where they were like, "Oh, you go to Thailand and then you wake up in the morning and you discover that you've basically fucked a woman who's a man, or sorry, a woman who's got a dick." It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. If you go over to Thailand, there are men who go over there specifically to fuck little boys. They don't want to be tricked, or they don't want to trick you, because if you wake up in the morning and you catch a cock, they're gonna get their faces battered in. It seems like the perfect time to let our boy Musical in. How you doing?
Oh,
How's it going, sir?
yeah, right. I'm fucking tired, man.
Have you not managed to catch much sleep this Sunday? Thanks for the raid again, man. You fucking
Oh,
beauty.
that's all right. No worries, man. No, I got enough sleep, but I kept needing massive pisses. So I woke up I went to bed at 8 in the morning. I woke up at midday. I'm like, I'm gonna burst my fucking belly button out of piss here, and then I had to go for the piss. Went back to bed till about 4 p.m. Then I was up, but I just felt. Do you know when your sleeping pattern goes upside down? I was just tired, man.
Yeah,
All
this
good though. It
these
was worth it.
yeah. It,
Yeah.
it was worth it. It was I feel like the stream last night made it worthwhile, having the boys just have a chat about things was nice.
Yeah,
And I was telling
it
everyone
was
earlier,
nice.
yeah,
It
you
was
turned up
nice.
at the perfect moment, because I feel like we were all lagging a little bit. We'd had no chill on for a little bit, and we got into like a massive US versus wait, it was a US versus the world debate,
Yeah,
which kind of got a little bit testy. And then we were all getting drunk at that point and just lagging, and you turned up at the perfect time to just inject a little bit of energy into the building. So
lovely.
what did you think of the card overall then? Like, you've had a little bit of time to reflect on it.
It was good. It was good. It was a good card. I mean, it it had to have been a good card considering last weekend.
Hmm.
Last weekend was the definition of how shit the UFC has gone, and the fact that the main fight pulled out last minute, like fuck that shit, man. So I feel like it's been blinded a little bit by that by last weekend.
Hmm.
I thought it was a good card. It was good. It was like 6.9 out of 10. Is that a bit too harsh?
Very
Maybe.
specific. No, I think that's fine. I think most people kind of gave it an 8 or 9. I kind of found like if you're like an MMA fan in general, you would have enjoyed last night's card, because the fights were generally quite good outside of a few stinkers.
Yeah.
I think your disappointment would have come from if you had people win that you don't like or that you didn't want to win, that might have ruined it for you. But as like in terms of, we got knockouts, we got scraps, we got
Yeah.
some good finishes. If you're a fan of the sport, it was good to watch
Yeah, for
as a
sure. It
neutral.
had a bit of everything. The
It did.
highlight of the card for me was Gustafsson.
Was
Gustafsson,
it?
scary man. Yeah, over Van. Yeah,
I mean,
that was his debut. That was his debut, man.
it
To do that
was.
against a fucking vet like Chaos Williams, nobody has ever treated Chaos Williams that way, man.
Yeah,
No.
that was a sustained beating.
Yeah, and
He
I mean,
literally beat the fuck out of him.
initially in round one, from memory, it was way more even with the wrestling, with the grappling. It
It
was more.
was, yeah, yeah,
Chaos had a more power, but he just could not keep up that pace at all. I didn't think
yeah.
Gus would be able to keep that shit up, man. But he kept it up for 3 whole fucking rounds, man. Insane.
Yeah, it was, I think, because I heard Guru speak about it this morning, and he mentioned about it was more that he was pushing him up against the cage and then dropping in knees and elbows. He was constantly pressuring him, and then when Chaos managed to get him off, it's like he felt like he was looking for a moment to breathe,
Yeah,
and Gustafsson wasn't having any of it and just
yeah.
getting
He
in his
could not
face, and you gotta
reset.
love that.
Couldn't reset. Great, amazing performance, man. Just fucking scary, man. And it was like he was doing what Marab does, but he was doing it how to do it in an entertaining way. Do you know what
Mhm.
I mean? I heard
Yeah,
people talking about that, and I agreed with that. But
yeah.
yeah, he was the best one of the day. Boldach, mate, fucking safe lad. How's it going?
How you doing, Bodak? I'm always worried when his mustache isn't twitching that we
I
haven't got
can't hear anything.
connection
I'm gonna
right.
duck out and come back.
Safe, man. Safe.
All right, bro. Yeah, no, I think you're right. The Gustafsson one was definitely a highlight. For me, like the performance of the night was unquestionably Joshua Vans, but I can, because it was just more. I felt like
Technical
it was more
performance, not yes. Agree with
technically
that.
beautiful to watch. But in terms of somebody bringing the fight, Gustafsson definitely
Yeah.
was.
But for a debutant to come into the UFC against someone as an underdog, and no one expected to win. Not really. He was a pretty large underdog from memory. To
Yeah,
do
I think
that,
he was
and
like plus 170 or
he
something,
was
which is
so
quite.
close to finishing him in the third as well. So close. Was very impressive to me. But he probably could get fraud checked, and he could. Someone could counteract that wrestling, that grappling,
Oh yeah,
that
because he does
cardio.
press forward a lot, and if you
He
you
fights
leave
like
yourself open to getting caught.
he said in the post-fight interview. He fights like a retard. He said he'll always fight like a retard. That's what he said. His own words. Did you hear about his tattoo cover-up?
No.
Apparently, he's had some dodgy tattoo covered up.
Dodgy is in.
As in Kanye West type of dodgy.
Really?
Yeah,
Doesn't surprise me. He looks like he'd make a, he could pose as an extra in American History X. He's got
yeah,
that look about him.
yeah. But no,
At least he was candid about it.
Huh?
At least he was candid about it, like he's not trying to hide it or anything.
Yeah. Well, no, he got the cover up. He's trying to hide it.
So did he have he's the one that had the tattoos on his back that were very striking.
Yes.
It was like a circular. I couldn't take my eyes off it.
I can't remember what the tattoo. Maybe someone in chat what the tattoo is specifically, but apparently it was very World War II anti and the wrong side of World War II. Apparently.
Interesting.
Ank says Gustafsson another boring guy. I disagree with that, man. I disagree. I thought that was he was getting him up against the cage. He was clinching a lot, but he was doing that so he could strike. I thought that was fun. And look at the damage you laid, man.
Yeah, the damage was. Sometimes people don't have to be technical to be entertaining. Like sometimes you can watch two technical guys fight, and it can be very boring because they're canceling each other out. But then you get two shit houses in there that are scrapping, and it's fun because it's just chaos.
Yeah, I mean, for example, on the same card, Patchy Mix and Batista was fairly technical, even though it was one-sided ish. But that was quite boring. You know,
it felt flat.
It was the same predictable thing happening every single round. Nothing really was changing. That was quite boring, even though it stayed in the feet. There was no takedown attempts apart from one by Patchy Mix, and that was pretty boring. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was.
I'd rather it clinch and dirty boxing, dirty wrestling, all that sort of shit, man.
We were screaming for this is what hypocrites we are. We were screaming for Patchy Mix to grab him and dump him down and be boring because we're like, do something, you cunt. What are you doing?
I just can't believe.
Whereas
was going like this in the third. It's like yeah. As if he's fucking one, man. Shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, what Isha's saying here is very, very interesting. You know, when we haven't spoken about this yet. You know, when Kayla Harrison kicked Juliana Pena in the face from the ground, and was docked a point for it. That kind of caught me by surprise because obviously I've seen people do up kicks in the past, and I think there was a slight rule change.
I think
it should be done, but it should again. It's a consistency thing because I think it even caught Juliana Pena off guard as well, where she obviously thought she was allowed to do it, and then. The rules in Jersey are a bit different. Apparently, there's 6-9 elbows were allowed, but knee strikes on the bottom weren't allowed. Or if your knees were on the ground.
Yeah.
I think there was a bit of confusion there.
Yeah.
I mean, she got the point dock anyway, and it didn't really affect the fight too much. But I thought that was a little bit interesting. Yeah. Joshua Van did not get a performance bonus as well.
Yeah, that is insane. Did anybody get the bonus?
I think it was. I think Holland got one. I think Marab got one. Not that he needs it. Let's have a quick look.
Fucking Kevin Holland.
Yeah, Holland got one.
Yeah, what's your thoughts?
I don't know. He was one of my picks. I always look at Holland. He's a journeyman, isn't he? So
yeah.
Just when you think that's it, he's gonna go on his losing streak and get cut. He just grabs a win somehow.
I think Holland's saving grace is his activity. He wants to fight 6 times a year. Do you know what I mean? Like that, you got to respect.
They appreciate that about him. He'll always have a job with them because he's willing to step up and he wins enough fights at the right times to be kept around.
Yeah,
and they know
he's the new Donald Cerrone. Then is he like?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's a good comparison, actually. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they know they can call him up at any moment and just be like, Kevin, will you fight this guy? And the fact that he can quickly switch between 2 divisions as well is very helpful.
Yeah. They
He's
should
clearly
put him
not asking for
on the same
titles.
card as Van every time now moving forward, I think. Same, because they
Yeah,
both
the
want
two
to
of
be
them.
really active. They both don't seem
Yeah.
to take crazy facial damage.
Mhm.
Van was getting pieced up a little bit last night. He ain't even got a fucking bruise on him, man.
Yeah, he's got those young regenerative genes as well.
Have you
Good.
Have you looked at the card for next week? Yeah.
I have, yeah.
It's a good card, man.
I'm not. It is. The thing is, I'm not blown away, but for a, I feel like it's one of those ones that's not name heavy, but it's definitely there's some scraps on there that should be good. We've got. So let's just quickly go over this. We've got a couple of women's like Philip Rowe and Ange Lusa. A lot of people don't know about those two. They're gonna throw down. We've got Ricky Simon and Charles Jourdain. That's gonna be a great fight. Wellmaker and Moutinho. I mean, Moutinho's, very prone to getting in a scrap, and he's very sort of, again, it should be a bit of a scrap.
Well, he left
And then
it out of the UFC
he,
and won every fight since. He's won like 5 fights in a row.
he seems like a regional, I don't know, like he seems to cope a little bit better when the spotlight isn't on him.
Don't get me wrong, he's getting the fucking pasting. He is getting the pasting.
Oh yeah, he will.
But they've done.
It's good that he's getting another opportunity.
Yeah, good to see Wellmaker back there, super quick as well.
He's good as well.
And
then the main card's pretty decent as well. Who are you looking forward to the most next week?
I don't know. Any Bodak? Are you looking forward to anything? Have you looked at the card yet?
I haven't looked at the card yet or anything. No, I don't really look ahead like that.
I'm looking forward to the main event, man.
I'm still just learning.
Yeah. Buckley versus Usman, man. Good to see Usman back in there. Well, his last fight was against Chimaev. How fucking long ago was that?
I think it's been at least 18 months.
Yeah. Omar C is fighting Omar C. He's
all right as well.
He's undefeated. Is a submission artist.
He is. Yeah, he's fighting Alonzo Menefield.
Yeah,
which is it's a decent litmus test for the division. I mean, Alonso's not amazing, but he's got a bit of power in his hands. That should be explosive as well.
Yeah, I was going to get this up there, I think.
Even Brundage and Malik, we've got Shabazian and Petrosky should be decent. Garbrandt and Barcelos should be a scrap as well. It's a good card. We should, and the thing is, with those fight night cards, they tend to move a little bit more quickly and paced than the pay-per-view cards do. So it should move
there's money to be made this card, man. I'm gonna do a triple parlay. I think Ange Lusa, Wellmaker, even though the odds would be retarded. Bellato as well. Bellato's gonna spank Paul Craig.
He will.
I might do 4. Maybe do 4. I think Barcelos is gonna spank Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah, I think he will as well.
I think he's gonna.
He looked really good in his last one. He beat Peyton Talbot, didn't he? Dominated him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garbrandt's got the rest and defense needed.
Yeah, and too chinny for me.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, Barcelos got fucking power in his hands as well.
Antec is pretending to be hyped for the co-main event.
Yeah.
This is an Antec silly sausage moment.
Yes.
Fucking Maverick versus Rose.
Who have you got, Shabazian or Petrosky? Tricky one.
It's a tough one. I'm probably going to go with Shabazian.
Yeah.
Petrosian, I don't like his cardio. He's a bit of a balloon animal.
If Petrosky can wrestle, which he needs
Petrosky, sorry.
If he can wrestle, I'm going Petrosky for a decision there. But Shabazian could
see that one being boring.
I reckon he could knock him out, but I've got
Shabazian's very hot and cold
as well. I can't see Brundage.
Yeah. Well, people should be following you at the moment because you had a hell of a night last night.
Yeah, not actually. 11-2. But you were 10-3, weren't you? That's still really good, man.
Yeah, 10-3.
Yeah, I went 10-3, but the 3 that I got wrong were in the 3 of my parlays.
Oh, bollocks.
So I walked away with fuck all last night. It sometimes goes that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. I don't really bet too much anyway.
Yeah. Who are you guys picking out of Ricky Simon and Charles Jourdain?
Ricky Simon.
But then there's times where he's just looked shit, man.
Do you know what it is? It's because Jourdain's fighting at 135. He seemed like quite a lean 145er.
Yeah.
So I get worried about him. And Ricky Simon's very stocky and powerful for that division. So
yeah, he is, man. He is. But just
very good
sometimes
wrestling.
that good, man.
I feel like Jourdain's gonna have to knock him out, and I just don't think he will. I think
mean,
Simone's
Jourdain
resilient enough.
Decision, he could do. I feel like that Simone's last fight was a fluke knockout, man, against the British Afghan guy. What's his fucking name? He looks like a fucking Sphinx cat.
Was it
Basharat?
Basharat.
Yeah.
Basharat.
That felt fluky to me, man.
Yeah.
So
I know he's fought there before. Jourdain has, but I'm like, I don't know. It's I like Ricky Simon. I feel like Ricky Simon, even though his record's gone a bit iffy lately, he's had tough competition throughout his entire career.
Yeah.
Like he's fought the who's who. If you look at Ricky Simon's record, he's fought everyone good at bantamweight.
Dude, he fucking beat Marab.
Yeah.
He beat Marab.
He's the last person to beat Marab, I think.
I remember watching that fight. The last minute, I'm laughing my fucking ass off at Marab's little swimming legs. Have you looked back at that the sub that you got on him?
I vaguely remember it at the time because I did watch it live.
It's so funny.
But that's the thing about this game.
Yeah, only Marab could survive being knocked out via a fucking submission, completely choked out, but he's still moving. Only Marab could do that, man. It was so funny. He was literally black purple. It was
it's like his brain shut off, but he's still like,
you know
what I mean?
Yeah, just
instinctively flopping around like a cop.
Will to appear conscious. He's managed to do it.
Yeah. As a quick sidebar then regarding this last night's card, obviously Amanda Nunes is coming back. How do you feel about that fight going down with Harrison? How do you reckon that goes?
I don't fucking care about don't care, man. I don't know. It's difficult to predict, man, because either you go with the current active fighter against an old goat coming back. Do you know what I mean? It's difficult. Harrison could very easily get her down, take her down, submit her. Especially, listen, if Pena's submitting Nunes, then Harrison absolutely could. And the fact that Nunes has taken 2 years off, you know, he's being a mom. Did the kid come out of her fanny? I don't think he did it?
Nah, it didn't come out of her fanny. It came out of her wife's fanny.
There we go. Come out of one of the fanny, you know. Yeah. I
get the sense that her wife is a little bit of a ball breaker, though. Like she come, Amanda Nunes acts like a dude. Do you know what I mean? So she's the one who's coming home. She's drinking the beer. She's going out with the boys or whatever. She's the quintessential bloke in that relationship. Yeah. She's always posting little videos about, oh, my wife kicked me out last night. I'm on, and she's off to her friend's house to go in. So she's probably getting a rough deal at home. Where
do you think she pisses standing up just to make a point?
100%.
Probably does, doesn't she?
100%. Yeah, she's probably got a bigger dick than all of us.
She just like pinches it together and then makes it squirt.
No, I reckon she's got a massive fanny that sticks out.
She does that, and then she does the pull up to make it spritz out in a certain way. Probably anyway, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see. I can't get that out of my head now.
I reckon she grunts while she does it.
Oh.
Yeah, she does look like a grunter. She does look like one.
She does have the classic lesbian look, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
Really
Brazilian lesbians are different. They're very manly. There's none of these like you don't get those cute feminine lesbians in Brazil.
Yeah.
It's basically just two dudes humping pretty much by when those two get together, or when Brazilian lesbians.
Justin Kennedy says, "What have I come back to, Lamar? What are we talking about? I can't remember. I don't know.
I can't remember how we got. No, I made the mistake of bringing up Amanda Nunes like it matters, and then you rightfully took it where it was supposed to go. Yeah. No. It's just
City Life say right. City Life's got an absolute paragraph here because only women's MMA fights that get me excited these days are deep. Invicta has been decent in 2025 though. Can't hate that they had 80 to 100% finish rate. But man, the Deep Jules cars, I've never even heard of Deep. Never even heard of it.
Yeah, no, if
Absolutely.
City Life's the guy to go to for like the regional stuff and the national promotions that you'd never heard of.
And
I
there's
think
a
like
ton
in
of
terms of, so
sorry,
good.
there's a ton of phrase that we use in the UK City Life. We would probably call you a regionals nonce, but that's a compliment.
It's a
There's not a
compliment,
lot of
yeah.
people like
We
follow.
we we can use the word nonce in like an affectionate sense over here in the UK.
Yeah,
It's not all dark.
yeah,
A
um,
regionals nonce would be right.
yeah. But no, that's good. It's City Life. The people that spring to mind when I think of regionals is City Life and No Chill. No Chill knows a lot about regional
He
stuff.
does. Very, very
Yeah,
knowledgeable about MMA in general.
yeah. Deep is a
Oh,
Japanese.
Deep is a oh, I
Okay.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah. Regionals.
Yeah,
There we go.
I need to get directed to more of these places because
Yeah.
UFC is kind of losing me at the moment, and I still love MMA as a sport.
It is, however, it is in the peak. We're in the peak few months now, so we'll have to see between now and up until the DDP Chimaev fight. We'll see what happens. You know,
Yeah, I feel like they might lose me as like a regular week watcher at this point, watching it live. I feel like it will develop to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna start watching cards where I'm only really invested in it,
have you
and I
seen
might watch a recap in the morning. Go
have
ahead.
you seen the timing of next week's card? Have you seen what time
I
the
have
prelims
not.
start? Have a
No.
look. I won't give you any spoilers. Have a look.
Is it? Am I going to be especially angry or?
It's up to you.
Let's
Your
have,
choice.
let's have a look.
Your body, your choice.
Well, it's saying the main card starts at 3 o'clock in the morning. Is that right?
Correct. So what's happening in the prelims?
Starts at midnight, does it?
12 o'clock. It starts
Fuck
on
me,
Sunday.
that's
It's so
rough.
late. It starts on Sunday. And then you got all French, Germans, Spanish. They get it at 1 in the morning. That's when it starts. It's going to
Man, that's
finish later
rough.
than pay per view. It's bollocks, man. It's bollocks.
Yeah. What I might start doing is like sleeping beforehand, like catching like trying to break up the sleep, do 3 hours before and then do
I feel
4
like that.
hours after or whatever.
Or the next day. How many hours sleep did you get after the card last night?
Not much.
About
I got
9.
like 3 hours. I got
Oh,
3.
Bodak had the full sleep there. Nice.
Well,
I
see,
woke
because
up at like 3 in the
Bodak doesn't
afternoon.
have.
Nice.
Yeah, he doesn't have little kids running around at the moment, do you? Are your kids a bit older?
My kids are like teenagers. My oldest one turns
See, yeah, you're
18
good
this
then.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've got like my 4-year-old ran into me like 9 o'clock in the morning after we got off and just jumped on me. I was like, well, I guess this is over then.
Gutted.
Been awake since then. But it was
You do get used to that.
it's how I do my weekends.
Yeah.
So what I do is this is what I sacrifice for the UFC. I like power my way through Sunday where I'm exhausted. Obviously, we do our live now, and then I get to bed at 10:30, and then I reset myself for the rest of the week.
Yeah. Do you know what the UFC need to do? They need to offer reduced pay-per-view rates and watching UFC rates for Europeans. Because there isn't a hardcore, there isn't any other hardcore fans of the UFC apart from Europeans, man. To be that dedicated to stay up for that time and schedule your life around that event is
Well, the thing is though, we can't. Do you know how much we pay for UFC currently?
no, I mean I ain't buying no fucking pay-per-view.
You can get everything because if you have a Discovery subscription, which is about £25 a month, you get everything.
Oh really? Okay. Is the quality good?
Perfect.
Is that something you can buy online or do you need a TV package?
No, you can buy it online.
Just buy it
It's just
separate.
literally it's a subscription of one. Yeah. So and what's even better is because I'm on EE.
Yeah.
So I've got an EE phone contract. It comes free with that, so I don't even pay the £25.
Well, that's interesting because I'm looking for a new phone soon. I'm looking for a new.
They have that as an add-on.
Well, I'm with dude. Anytime I'm on the road for a gig up and down the country, the signal is fucking retarded, man.
EE's pretty good. I haven't had many problems with it, but yeah, getting Discovery free of it is a big thing. And so what I do is I get Discovery for free, and then I pay £5 a month for the UFC Fight Pass because often they don't have the first 2 fights or the prelims on Discovery.
Yeah.
But then the early ones, and then they just kick it to. So yeah, I pay nothing, and I'm not stealing it.
Nice. Yeah, wicked. Isha says, musical.
Good deal.
You guys are hardcores. I can empathize now staying up for these Korean and Japanese shows every week, and you guys are beauties. Thank you. Yeah, it is. I ain't doing it anymore though. I did it last night for a treat, but I've not watched a live event for I want to say the whole year so far. I haven't watched it live, man. I just can't. I can't do it. I'm getting too old for it.
It's rough, especially when you got family and you got work that's 9 to 5. It's really because it fucks up your whole. You've got to basically sacrifice your Sunday to get back on track,
Yeah,
and it's just hard to do.
yeah.
So like, I
It's been
definitely got
pleasant
to
actually. Whenever I've got my son on the weekend, which is the majority of the time,
Mm-hmm.
it's pleasant to put my phone down on a Saturday evening to not get any spoilers. I'm not going to watch the UFC until he gets back to his mum's on Sunday evening, and then I'll watch the card. I really enjoy it that way because I'm not fucking half asleep trying to remember the next day. Did I watch that fight? What happened in that fight? What happened in this fight? I watch it when I'm actually awake, and I do actually enjoy it doing it that way. But obviously, you don't get the live reactions, and you can't watch a companion and stuff like. I mean, you can. I find a way where normally I'll get Thumb. I'll say, Thumb, can you pull up Guru's stream? Can you find out what fight he went live at? Because she doesn't mind getting the spoilers. And then she'll set up the stream and we'll sync it up. And okay, as long as I don't touch my phone, I won't get any spoilers, and I can still be in a companion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Autistic.
I find it, and what you can do as well is when you got a card that's like 7 hours long, when you watch it back, you can watch it in about 2.5 hours, and it doesn't fuck up your whole weekend.
Yeah,
You just
I
watch
have
the
been
fight
doing that.
themselves.
Normally, usually I used to just let it play and have all the rambling in the middle. But that be right back screen can fuck right off, man. Not doing
Yeah, man, I fucking hate that. The problem is the reason why I've never done it is usually when I get to the next day, even if I stay off social media, I manage to, as soon as I turn my computer on and jump on Google or whatever, you'll just see things popping up because obviously everything that I watch is geared towards MMA. So it's very, very hard for me to not stumble on spoilers.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get around that?
The spoilers, I just completely ignore my phone. What I'll do, I can go on YouTube and I'll squint my eyes, and then I'll click on my profile picture, go to liked videos, and I'll save up 10 videos to watch. Like, I don't know, it might be a Danny Jones podcast, some shit that I can still listen to when I'm having a coffee or this or that, or I'll watch someone's older stream or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Do that, but I can get away with it. I've got the right type of squint where you don't really fully see. Obviously, if you're watching MMA on YouTube, you'll get every result at the top the next day. Do you know what I mean? But if you squint,
it's just funny imagining you doing that, just going like this for the.
Yeah.
Trying. Oh, that's.
I've just trained
class,
it.
Yeah.
Trained it.
Yeah. I might give it a try because I have, like, this year was the first time I've missed or I've gone to sleep midway through a card 3 times this year, which I've never done. I've been watching MMA for 12 years and I watch it. I don't do I've started doing live streams more recently, but I got to a point where I was like not doing it anymore because it's just it was exhausting to do them by yourself for 7 hours and then try and keep up with chat and watch what's going. I find it wasn't as enjoyable.
Yeah.
And 7 hours prattling on by yourself.
Having a few of you on, having a little chat, then you can have a little break, a little vocal break when you need,
100%. Yeah. Last night was great for that. It was a lot of it was like crazy, but it's fun that way. You forget that people are watching you. You just enjoy it's like watching fights with the boys. It's what it is. Whoever comes along for it's great.
Did you see the picture Aaron Tats made of Brutally?
I saw it. It was gold.
So good, man.
It was gold. Yeah. It was beautiful. Yeah.
It looks real as well, realistic.
It does. Yeah. It's.
I mean, ballooned up like Cheddarhead. I think that's how it would look.
What we need now is we need a downscaled version of Cheddarhead. We need a skinny version of Cheddarhead. We need to do the reverse fatty. Again, I appreciate. I'm probably gonna head off in a minute. When are you going on next? Because I've been saying this for a while. I need to catch a time when I go on before you, so that I can start sending some people your way. Because
I don't really get a lot of live viewers at the moment because I haven't made a video in 7 months, so I don't need a raid, man. It's all good. But I normally go on.
I feel like I owe you about 700 at this point.
No, it's all good. I'm normally usually on between midday and 3 or 4 p.m. That's when I normally start, and I'll normally do anywhere between 2 and 9 hours.
Do you find the midday streams are quite successful? Like, do they work
They're
for you?
financially successful, yes, but I've got the
Mhm.
whole niche of people sending $2. Can you play Wayward?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I've got a bit of a niche going there, so I can have 10 viewers and make $100 still. You know,
Crazy.
it doesn't really matter if the views for me. But the second I start
Yeah.
getting videos out there again, the views will get back up. But I'm on
Yeah.
too early. I'm on too early for anyone really.
Yeah.
It's still
I've
good.
got to get out there. I've got to get out there when you do a big one and see you live, because I think it's something that I want to do this summer. So
Yeah,
I'll just hop down at some point.
I started to have regular-ish pub gigs in London, and JP
Yeah.
was going to come to one of them, but he
Mhm.
wanted to know the name of the pub in the chat, and I'm like, I can't fucking
Yeah, I
tell.
can't do that. Yeah, you don't know what psycho
And
might turn
I
up.
couldn't come off the app and message him. Do you know what I mean? But the next London
Yeah.
I'm going to get booked in, I'll let you know if you're free.
Yeah, give me a shout. Yeah, that'll be sweet. It's
And
just a
anyway,
45-minute train journey for me, so I'll jump down there.
probably
Is
in July. I reckon I'll get one in July.
July? That would be perfect. Yeah, because I'm doing a couple of trips down there in July anyway, so we can catch it as part of something as well. And we've got to do the meetup in August as well for the Trickers card. We were talking about it a little bit last night for people who weren't here.
So you
I
reckon
don't
like
know if you were there at the time.
Airbnb? Do you think an Airbnb and then we just do a massive companion?
That's basically, so we were talking about it last night. Like, we'll order like a big place where it's convenient for all of us to get to, and then we'll just bring a whole load of cameras, a whole load of mics, and just do a table panel for part of it, and then do recordings of the whole like
So
experience
like a
and stuff.
proper setup for like a podcast.
A proper setup, yeah.
Bodak, how you got to get around that?
I'm gonna bring my laptop and bring my outfit with me.
You're going to do an outfit for 7 hours, mate. You're going to be the sweatiest.
No, I'll just have my real face in it by then, I think.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to be on screen.
Yeah, you could just set up a camera and do like you're doing now.
Yeah, I can do that.
And just have your voice on.
Yeah.
There's ways around it anyway, because like I said, for you, it's very different in that, like, obviously it interferes with your job and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I'm not really bothered.
Yeah.
It's different things.
I'm still going to need help with
I like the producing role as well anyway.
Yeah. I'm still going to need
You
help
could
with
be Jasper for the evening.
Well, where the stand-up comedy video, but I think I'll come up to Cambridge for that. But that'll be close to the end of the year.
I'm very close to Cambridge as well.
Yeah. I feel it'd be better it'd be better me to come up there than you guys to have to come down south, unless you want a little break. I don't know.
No, I mean London's very accessible to me as well. It's only about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Something like that. So it's easy enough to do. But yeah, I appreciate you boys. Thanks again for last night. It was really fun. We'll definitely coordinate some stuff this summer. I understand that. I think Bodak, you're live now, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
So what we'll do is, if some beautiful mod or somebody in the chat could please link Bodak's channel to the into the chat, we can all migrate over there. Guys, again, since like last night was fun, we've got a lot more stuff in the and we'll talk a little bit more behind the scenes and get some stuff going, because I think we can add some variety to the stuff that we're doing in terms of when we meet up together. There'll be an interesting element to it.
Yeah.
And we're starting off at the end of the month with BKFC, where I'm meeting Brutally and a couple of lads.
I wish I was.
Yeah, it was very short notice. We had it. Yeah. But like I said, it's a good thing, because you're booked months in advance now. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's normally the case in the summer. The gigs get booked in for the summer, and then it's quieter in the winter for me.
Yeah,
which is a good thing. I'm going to head out. I'll catch you in your stream.
Cool. Take it easy, brother. Thanks for stopping in. So once again, thanks to. Yeah, I'm going to head off.
I didn't say a fucking word this whole time, mate.
No, I mean it goes that way sometimes. I think obviously with the technical issues at the beginning, it's quite nice sometimes to have a like a different vibe at different times. Like I've had times where I've done a 3-hour show and I've said about 9 things, and most of them have been like or like me just cowering in the corner and watching everyone crash out. So it happens.
Yeah.
It does. But anyway, I think Westy has Westy and Andy B, thank you very much, has put a link in for Bodak. So if you can all head over there, I'm gonna head off now. I'd like to thank everyone in the chat who was here yesterday. Everyone who turned up for this one. I cannot ever express how grateful I am to all of you. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like on the stream before you head out, head over to Bodak, and I'm sure he's got a long stream to entertain you guys for the evening. Shout out to
See you
everyone
later,
who
Frankie,
came in.
mate.
Take
Have
it
a good
easy,
week.
bro.
Have a good week.
So, you too, brother. Like I said, shout out to the usual people. Thanks for coming back in, Cushman, Andy B, Lane, Antec, Usalis. He's got a great channel over there. Check him out. Usalis, I've got to get you on at some point as well. You optimistically beautiful bastard. I've got to get you on. Justin Kennedy, it's good to see you here. Antec, great to have you here as always. Shout out to Isha at the City Life Project. If you're not subscribed over there, do so. So much great content over there, and he covers absolutely everything. So give that guy a shout. Western Mass Climber, obviously, as well. One of the best fucking mods in the game. Who else have we got that I might have forgotten? I'm just scrolling up quickly here. I don't want to miss anyone. And Mr. 509, another regular subscriber who's always here. Big Ank's got his own channel as well, so check out Big Ank MMA. Colin Robinson, great to see you as well here, sir. It's a beautiful British name. Shout out to you, Colin. And to anyone that I've missed, Jensen popped in for a little bit as well. Shout out to you. I hope you, Colonel Andrew, I didn't see your chats. Good to see you back. I've seen you around once or twice. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. If you could head over to the Bodak show now, the link has been dropped in the chat. If you could head over there, Bodak's always amazing value. Love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a panel with the American boys tomorrow, so it'll be like Orange Cat, Good Noodle, Giuliano. It'll be about the same time as it was on today. So shout out to those guys as well, Orange Cat MMA. Every associate of the channel is in the description, so it's really nice for some people to occasionally get a new sub. It gives us all a boost, gets our names out there. Hope you all enjoyed the card. Hope you had hope you will continue to have a great weekend. And yeah, we'll catch you tomorrow. Head over to Bodak. Thanks very much, everyone.